All right, I'm live right now. So, uh, so yesterday, um, I said I would fly a plane for the first time in my life, and today I did that. Um, I'm just gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. Um, kind of, and kind of even what it means for MVCap. Like it's all related. I want to talk about that. Um, and also to wish Tracy happy birthday. Um, yeah, I mean he's alive. Whatever. So I flew at um, Bedford Airport. It's called K Bed. Parachuting to catches one. No, not parachuting. Definitely not parachuting. Um, so yeah, I mean, just describing the experience. Um, and I'll talk about this uh, in a second. But it was basically it was like you know the flight instructor was great. Um, and basically it was kind of like introducing me to the mechanics of the plane, how the plane worked. You know, I'm not like too privy with the terms. It's literally my first time learning it, but there's part of the plane, like the back of the plane. It kind of goes like this, and that determines whether, like, if the plane is gonna go up or down. And you actually pull the steering wheel to go up, and you push the steering wheel in to go down. And then the first part of it was like, so basically it's kind of like just explaining how the plane works and stuff, and how the door works and everything, all kinds of stuff. But then when you get in, there's taxiing, and it's a weird experience. It's actually very difficult, but you do it. You basically drive the plane on the line. So it's kind of like, imagine, how, like you're driving and there's like a lane. It's like, imagine driving on, like, in the middle of the lane where that line is in the middle. Like it's kind of strange, but you're not driving with the steering wheel. When you're taxiing. When you're taxiing, you are actually driving with your feet. So you don't use the steering wheel at all when you're taxiing. So if you basically you kind of like put down to the left, and then you go left, and then you press down to the right and you go right. That's how the taxiing worked, and I actually thought that was relatively difficult. But then when you fly, though, when you actually fly, even the takeoff, it it was very. It wasn't. I wouldn't say that was difficult. I would say it's very peaceful. I just remember, like, you just drive up the speed, and then it's like, okay, and then you pull it back, and then you go up, and then it's like, before you know it, you are in the sky. Um, and then we got to 1,000 feet, then we got to 2,000 feet, then we got to 3,000 feet. We took off at New Bedford, and basically 3,000 feet. Yeah, so it's like, imagine, like, you put down the left pedal to go left when you're taxiing, but you're completely, like, the steering wheel is completely useless. It's like they call it like a bad driver habit or whatever, but you just completely, there's nothing to do with your hands when you're taxiing. and you put your feet down to the right pedal to go right. So it's like driving with your feet. It's weird. Um, then you're flying. You It's a very slight movement to the left and a slight movement to the right. It's what they call banking. And I gotta say, the one thing I still don't know, which I should know, is I'm kind of just used to. I'm just kind of familiar with Cessnas. Um, I can't name the kind of plane it was. It began with a T, and I just can't remember for some reason. That's the one thing I don't got in my head. Um, but it's like then when you're flying, I think at first I was they said uh, go in the direction of this mountain, and that was Mount Wachusett, and it was it's really like it's very peaceful. I would actually describe it easier than driving, because it's like if you like kind of turn the wrong way or whatever, in a car, you crash into something bad happens, someone honks the horn or whatever, but you just have all of that block of space around you to deal with it, and it's completely seamless. And there's two controls on each side, so anytime like I wanted to take pictures and videos, like what I kind of just put up, the flight instructor would just kind of take over. I would let him know, and that's when I'd be filming. I was able to see Boston. Oh, nice! You flew right over my house. I live right next to the mountain. I probably did, and also that's kind of an interesting thing. I flew over my house, not my house. I'm not in a house. I'm in an apartment, but it was. I was kind of like. I was kind of just asking a bunch of questions. Like I could see Boston. It was really cool. I could see Boston. Um, the flight instructor pointed right there. It's Boston. You see all the buildings. Um, yeah, the flight simulator I used was reality, real life. But so then I was just kind of saying like where it was, where it was at, where I was living, and Marlboro, and then basically we flew to Marlboro. So we flew over here, and I saw like I graduated from Aspen Valley, a vocational school, and I recognized it. I saw it. Um, I flew there, and then we turned around. But how we got there was like he said, all right, so that's 495. So just like follow that as if you're flying over it. So it's basically like it was like in a plane going about a 90 to 100 miles an hour, and then we kind of like follow 495. We're not on 495 obviously. But we're flying over it as like kind of like a method of just navigating. And I don't know. I just thought the entire experience was like it was surreal. I was like it was kind of like the thing is you would imagine flying would just be a very intense kind of difficult thing, but it wasn't. It was like very surreal, very I don't know. It was really amazing, but it's also very peaceful. It was nothing like the experience of driving. Um, so and I flew from Bedford, I guess here and back. I didn't land anywhere here, but it's like we flew here, and then basically I guess at some point I turned around, and I flew from 4 to 6. I flew between 4 and 6 p.m. So it was like we saw the sunset. Like it was like a great view of the sunset. Especially coming back, and then I can't land. That requires like I guess the next steps, which would be I guess like they said more. I don't know, something about turning, something about that, but like there's like a couple other stuff. So how did I take the video? So basically, anytime I wanted to film something or whatever, there's two controls that are identical. And something that was kind of interesting is if you actually move some of the components like outside the plane, like when we're on the ground, obviously, you can actually see the like, okay, so like I said, there's something on the plane that makes it that can make it turn, that makes it increase altitude, decrease altitude. If you actually move those things with your hands, you actually see like the steering wheel and all the you actually see them move too inside the plane. He said, okay, see, I'm moving this, and see that's moving. So it's all connected. It's like hardwired connected. So how would I see the video is anytime I'm doing that, the pilot can just take over. They have the same controls that I have, and I'm in the pilot seat, but then they have control as well. And then once I say I'm done, then he said I had control, and then I'm flying. And it's like a very you would not go like this. If you go like this, that could like you're not trying to do a barrel roll. I don't know. You're not trying to do a barrel roll. But it's like a very slight. It's like imagine turning the steering wheel slowly and like slightly, and then that's enough, and you just kind of hold it there, and then you're kind of slowly turning, and then you can turn 180 degrees like that if you want, but that's how you turn. It's very delicate turning. So that's kind of a question, because 40 hours in total is how much it takes for a private pilot's license, and I bought a logbook. And I earned 0.8 hours. So 2% on the way. So I actually did get flight time for it. So it was kind of like an amazing experience, and I got flight time. So I don't know, it's not a lot of ways. It was a lot to talk about. And, I actually bought a book, Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. That they got. I don't know. It's really just like an interest thing. Like I just want to fly to fly. But what I can do is eventually when I am able to get a private pilot's license, like along the way. However I figure that out, I guess, is when you do buy a plane, you would think like a plane is like really expensive, like $1 million. I mean, it is if it's a jet, but if it's a propeller kind of plane, I actually asked the question, like, how much is this plane if I were to buy it? 40,000. I mean, you can buy a somewhat, I guess I would consider that kind of a moderately expensive car, but if you can somehow pull off 40,000 and finance it, you can buy a plane. And then you're just paying for gas. And ask questions like, how long would it take to get to New York City? It would be like about an hour and a half, something like that, hour to 2 hours. I don't actually know about maintenance. I found like insurance is like 5,000 a year. Yeah, I'm just kind of not military, honestly. That's just not my avenue. I don't think I would be eligible to. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if I was eligible for anything like that. But there's kind of some stuff that's like I have to kind of figure out. Yeah, and I did find out that I kind of overheard a couple conversations. You can find Cessna's 2-seater for around 20,000. Yeah. There's certain medical requirements and stuff like that. That wasn't ever. I never actually. I mean, that wasn't something I was like looking to do though. Anyway, I'm trying to like look towards getting kind of a private pilot's license and just flying my own plane. That's kind of the goal. But I mean, if I can scale up predator catching, it can eventually be viable. I don't know. At some point, it can be viable. Very difficult, but it can be viable. But I mean, it's like I would stress the word possible. Like it's possible that I could get to a point where, I could fly to catches, and not like very far away, and then just come back. Just the idea of that is amazing. I don't know, but that's what I would do. I don't know. I kind of want a four-seater. I don't know if that's like extremely expensive, but yeah, I did fly a plane. I did a thing today. Yeah, thanks, FM. I'll kind of answer some of the questions, but I would say that even though it was my first time flying, I would say it's easier than because if I remember the drive home back, it's like flying is easier than driving. I feel safer flying than driving. Flying is safer and just better than driving. And the view is amazing. You can see Boston. You can see it was weird. I was flying over Marlboro, and I could see Boston. Just the idea of that, you know. Well, actually, I could see. I know I could see from Bedford. I want to make sure if I think I could see Boston. Actually, yeah, I think I do remember seeing Boston. I put out the video, so I mean, the video just shows where I'm at. But I did earn 0.8 flight hours today, which is 2% on the way. So 2% on the way to getting a private pilot's license. He'd be a medical DQ. I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah. I don't know what you mean doing that with your mouth. I don't know what you mean. Getting a good instructor feels giving you easy and clear instructions. Yeah, definitely. I had a great instructor. Yeah, Bill Evans also flew today. He sent me a video of him flying, then I flew. I was actually I was actually in the waiting area, about to fly. And actually, something crazy was I didn't know how young you can be to fly. There was like parents and they're talking about like their son getting like a private pilot's license, and the person was 13. Like their son was 13. I guess like working towards the private pilot's license, but I'm like 13. Like I don't know what I was doing at 13, but that's crazy. But flying overall is really yeah, I mean, it's really I would like if there's any word to describe it, I would say surreal. I wouldn't say I would actually not say an adrenaline rush. Well, I don't know if you mean skydiving or something, but I wouldn't say flying is an adrenaline rush. Um, it was kind of like it's almost like hard to grasp that you're actually like in the sky. I was actually saying it like I'm in the sky, I'm flying, like because it's I don't know. I mean, it's actually peaceful. Like you have like one hand on the wheel, then one hand on the yoke, and you just turn it slightly, but you're able to kind of chill out. You're able to look around. You're not like every time you make a turn, you turn left, you look left, look right, then you slightly make the turn, slightly make turn left, right. That's what I remember. But it's a very peaceful thing. Like it's very I don't know what the word is. It's just kind of surreal. If there's any word to describe it, I would say surreal. Like, it's hard to believe like you're in a plane, you're flying. Yeah. BRB, Ryan. Pause. Actually, no, I don't know. I wasn't really that nervous. I was actually just I was really excited to fly leading up to it. And then once I flew, it was kind of just like it wasn't it wasn't a scary thing. It was like maybe like I was maybe a little bit of nerves, like infinitesimally small amount of nerves, like taxiing, but then because it was kind of like when you're driving with your feet, it's really hard to drive with your feet because like when you're hitting the pedals when you're taxiing when you're on the ground, that's the hard part. So whenever you're flying a plane on the ground, or not flying a plane, but whenever you're taxiing on the ground, that is harder than flying. It kind of would make sense that it would be the other way around, but it's this weird experience. It's like imagine I don't know. It's like imagine instead of like the pedal on the gas, it's like going left and going right. Then I go left and I'm going way too left and I'm going way too right. I'm missing the line, and then you have to kind of get it as far as like how hard you need to push left, how hard you need to push right. It's you know that was actually tricky, and it was kind of like if it's going like this, I don't necessarily know how I'm gonna be like when I fly, and then when I finally take off, it's you know it really was. I, I fly. Yo, best quote of the day. I fly the. Yo, I can't even say that, bro. I fly the plane on the ground. Confucius 2024. Definitely. Can't fly a plane on the ground, dog. Yeah, I don't. I suck at all the terminology. I mean, I kind of am explaining things. I'll say the thing that goes like this and the thing that goes like that. I don't really got the terminology down. I don't. I admit I don't. I don't even know what the kind of plane I was driving. I wanted to remember that, and I'm just like, I was driving home, and I'm like, I can't even remember the type of plane I'm driving. I mean, I don't. Is a rudder the one? Yeah, I mean, is the rudder the one that makes it go left or right or up or down? I learned about the flaps that makes it slow down when it lands. The flight instructor landed the plane, and I did get the. Okay, yeah, I completely don't have the terminology down. Oh, okay, yeah, rudders. Yeah, so that's in the back of the that's like in the tail of the plane, where it's kind of like it would go like this, and then if you actually move that, if you go to the back of the plane and you move that thing, that makes it go to the left or the right. You actually see the steering wheels move also. So yeah, yep, flaps are landing and taking off. But I actually flew to Marlboro and back. I flew over here. I couldn't see like my building, but I kind of pinpointed where in general it would be. But if I was here and I was looking at the sky, I would be able to see a relatively low aircraft in the sky. Like I flew over here, and it was very quick. It was like we were going in that direction, and then it wasn't long before we were there. And then it's like I remember driving there and driving back, and it was like 40 minutes. So, you know, it's like when you go directly there and you're going about 90 to 100 miles an hour compared to when you're driving. It's like you see the difference. Yeah, yeah, it was the beginning of a journey for sure. Yeah, I'm actually going to share the link. First kid to fly a plane on his own and say yeah. Actually, I think I did say yeah. I think there was a yeah. Now, when you do fly, when you have like it's so loud in the cockpit, or I guess it would be called a cockpit, that you wear headphones. Like if you talk, you can't talk. Like if you actually watch the videos, I'm actually trying to narrate it, but what it is you wear when you are wearing the headphone with the microphone, I can hear myself talk, and that's how I talk to the flight instructor. But if you take that off, and like there's nothing going through. So I'm not buying planes and tanks, bro. Not about a tank. Yeah, next up we roll in the tanks. Yeah, is officially a flight term now. I know all the terms and how everything works, but I've never flown. I've never even thought about trying to get my license. To be honest, that's really cool. Honestly, anyone can do it. They make it very accessible. There's so many people that there's something about kind of just the culture of aviation is where they're very calm and kind of instructive. Where obviously for a reason, because it's not like when you're driving you have road rage or anything like that, but it really there's a lot of people that will be able to kind of break it all down for you. Like kids can go up and fly. Like when I was waiting for my flight lesson, my discovery flight, I was overhearing like parents talking about their 13-year-old kid, and the 13-year-old kid came in. It was like talking about basically finishing up their, like getting to the point where they're gonna, like, I guess you get your private pilot's license at 14, I guess, but like if you don't think you can, if you think you can, you probably can. It's just like you just I would really recommend it. Just take the plunge. Do the discovery flight. Oh.
Hi, love.
Are you there?
I seen your video. It was so amazing. How was your experience?
Yeah, I would say it's surreal. Well, actually, I think you have some feedback in the background.
That what? Oh yeah, hold on. Let me mute it. Hold on.
I can probably hit something actually. Oh, just some technical issues. I'll actually put out the link. I think I could probably pin the link. Let me see. Oh yeah, and I did find out that there was a certain person that said you can get flight hours from basically playing video games. That isn't true. What's true is like if you go to like basically like an Air Force, like a flight simulator at an Air Force, like something you would go to, that can give you flight hours, but not actually not Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, and honestly, whenever I use any kind of flight simulator, like Microsoft Flight Simulator, or Infinite Flight, that is just for fun. Like you can kind of have like I don't even know. if it's at all useful. It's just a video game, and it's actually a lot harder than flying than the real thing. It's a lot harder. So flying in a flight simulator is harder than actually flying, and it doesn't get flight hours. But if you just want to do that for fun, and just for fun, then I mean you can do all kinds of things for fun. But it's not it's not the real thing. Let me see. I need to pin a link. Use an actual huge $800 controller, to be honest. Yeah. At the very least, it's like something you would go to. Like you don't do that at home. Let me pin the link. Yeah, so link's pinned. But yeah, I don't know. I would really recommend it to anyone. Like if you're even considering it, if it seems like vaguely a cool idea, and for whatever reason you're telling yourself that you maybe can't or shouldn't, you are wrong. You absolutely can. And even something goes kind of wrong, the flight instructor can just take over at any time. The flight's so there's many flying is very, very safe and accessible to everyone. So I would just say do it. The cost of it was a little under $300, but it's like it really is like a once in a lifetime experience. I would recommend it. I've never flown on that thing. I mean, if I would say if you don't want to, then that would make sense. But I would say, but if you think, if you ever want to, it really is accessible. And if you do a discovery flight, you do gain flight hours. I earned 0.8 flight hours. You need 40 for a private pilot's license. That's a minimum, but there's other requirements too. So as far as flight hours and flight hours alone, 2% on the way. 2% the way there. That's about a 50th of the way. Went from a new car to piloting a plane. Next comes a train. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like even the fear of heights, though. It's not like being on like a roof or anything. It's like this weird feeling that you don't believe it. Wait, Bobby just live again? I thought she was live. I thought she was already live. Wait. No, she was live. She was live 9 hours ago. It says. I think maybe you just got the notification. Nah, you good. Oh, she's gonna be live. It's showing a retraction. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, but it really will amaze you at like something that I found amazing is how accessible flying is. Like as far as taking your discovery flight, you can be 13 years old and and uh, and do that. 13. Like you can, you know, like anyone can really do it. Like without even knowing, like anyone in chat, or most people in chat. Like personally, I would argue like you could probably do it. You could probably do it. Um, I don't know unless you're like easily if you can drive, you can do it. I would just really recommend it. Yeah, and I was thinking it was. I was kind of worried that it was going to be a little too dark to fly because it was between 4 and 6. But it kind of just made it so that the weather was actually really great for flying, and it was like right at the end of the sunset. So it was like a great view, great time of the day, great like it was really amazing. Um, yeah, I don't know anything about the Super Bowl, but I heard the 49ers are winning. But yeah, I don't know what any of that means, but I don't even know they're playing, but they're winning. Yeah, I didn't mean Bobby Joe, but it was a bad joke to begin with. I don't know what you mean. Scored a goal. Yeah, I don't know anything about sports at all, at all. I just know the other people that care about sports. Yeah, and it's Tracy's birthday, so warm community birthday to Tracy. But yeah, I would really say if you have like it should cost no more than 300. Um, you know, like just take the plunge. I would really recommend it. It's not a scary it's not going to be nearly as scary as you think. It's like you don't believe it. It's like you're kind of comprehending. Oh my god, what's it like you flying a plane? Like you flying a plane. If anything, it's like surreal. It's like you can't believe like you're flying a plane, and it's that um, I don't know, peaceful and seamless and all that. Um, that was the best. It's kind of like you don't believe you're flying. That's what I would. That's the only way I could describe it. Yeah, like take the plunge means like just do it. I guess I don't know. I think it's a bungee jumping reference. I don't know if I would want to do that though. Yeah, Oh no, you don't want to take a plunge in the plane. No. I mean, that was a I don't know you call that analogy, I guess, but I mean just do it. Best flying day of the year. Nobody was up there today. Super Bowl. Yeah, actually, that's true. I didn't think of that. It was a really great day to fly. You need the red card for sure. The one player at his horse. I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, I would say if you have like even like a moderate interest in aviation, like from like if you do it the first time, you'll definitely want to do it again. That's at least for me. I'm just speaking on my own experience. A sock. I don't know what that means. Or actually, I don't want to know what that means. I don't know, bro. Those those socks have been exchanged. Whatever weird conversation is being had right now, I have no idea. Yes, it was a two-seater plane. Yeah, I think I kind of covered everything that I explained, but yeah, just sharing my experience. That's all I'm doing. I'm just storytelling. It's just story time with MVCat by our side. Yeah, another thing, I'm actually trying to figure out how to put out one of my catches. I'm gonna try to get that over in February. The one of the first catches that I did when I first started coming back, like the one I did in Marlboro, with the sting operation. I'm trying to think, like how to describe it. The one that PP Mass also caught. I'm currently in the process of figuring out how to get that on MVCap. It's just kind of I don't know, daunting a little bit. But I'm trying to put that out within the month. Yeah, we can play it. Or do you want us to play it, or do you want us to do something with it? We could all check it out. What do you mean a song? Is it a beat, or is like what do you mean? Oh yeah, and I wasn't able to. One thing is I wasn't able to wear the beanie because the microphone, the headphones and everything, it didn't work. It's like I can kind of get away with wearing like a headphone like this, but the headphones that they have, it's impossible. It's not doable. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on today. You're silenced and locked. Why is Locke saying titling his streams free speech? That's kind of that's a question I have. I don't know why he's titling it that. That's kind of strange. I produce when I hear about you flying. Oh. Oh, okay, that's cool. You made a beat based on that? Oh, that's really cool. I don't know, it'll go, but it sounds interesting. I have a question. This is kind of a poll question, but is it just me, or has anyone been invaded with StreamYard ads on Facebook, on everything, on YouTube? What is with the StreamYard ads? I've already bought StreamYard before. I'm using StreamYard now. I know, like when I make a live in 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. You click a couple buttons, you go live. I'm convinced. Like, what is going on? It's like over half the ads are StreamYard. I don't know if that's just me, but only reason why I said that is I did see the same ad on Caps, so my inclination is it's a community thing going on. But it's really weird how ads work. It's like if you even talk about something, like somehow that gets picked up, and then you'll see an ad for it. Yeah. No, zero invasion. Okay, so it's not a shared experience. But I don't know. I keep getting bombarded with it. I have no idea why. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know if Kupai has a beat going on. Is what to release. Is there anything being discussed in the other panels, or is there anything to discuss? Oh yeah, I tried to call in on Tommy Boy's stream or whatever, but I can't. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna upgrade my phone. There has to be something wrong with this phone. Crazy thing is everything else works fine, but it's just for video streaming. Like anything, either a video call or anything like that. Zoom works. I don't know, but StreamYard, it just once I start talking, it starts roboting. I don't know, but I was basically making the case that the JLo's calls are not is not a dox, and I do not believe it's a dox. Like, because it's like the first layer of it is it's like if you watch, okay, this kind of like it's kind of like a 3-strike thing for me. Is strike one is you're told it's being recorded, number one. So it's just like it's already been being told to you that everything you're saying is being recorded, right? And two, you should know that jail calls are something that can be released. It's used all the time in court. Like, because I know there's like a, you know, like the predator catcher community and the true crime community kind of go hand in hand. And you would have had to know that jail tapes can be accessed. I mean, like how do you not? You know, they go hand in hand. So So the idea that you just wouldn't know that would be something that could be released and FOIA'd, I think that's just ridiculous. But that's just strike 2, right? And then strike 3 is anyone calling for that called for the unedited release of those jail tapes. That was, I would argue, that was the docs. That was the docs. So if they called for the unedited release and complained about the unedited release being released, you're a moron. Like, you're not a moron. Like, it's just dishonest. I don't know. I don't even believe they believe what they believe. If I said that right. They claim they were legally obtained. They were not illegally obtained. Oh my god, no. They claim they were legally obtained, but I have no clue how it works down there. And there's no like, I mean, JLO's calls are something that can be released. So that's just not something that would need to be legally obtained. And especially if it's like, if you're doing a crime and illegally obtaining something, like, why would Nunya put it out on the internet for everyone to see if she's doing something illegal? Like, I mean, do I have to say that, or are we just like on another level? I don't know. So no, I don't. Like, if you said your number, if you said some personal story, why would you say that, knowing that obviously this community is like that would FOIA stuff. They tell you it's being recorded. JLO's called or something that is released. You're told it's being recorded, just in case you forget. Every time it's like, call is being recorded. Maybe the call is being recorded, dummy. So it's just like, you could say your social security number. That's your fault. And like, after all that, you can even say, after all that, being like, well, I didn't necessarily think they would release it. Even if you're saying that, they called for the unedited release and then complained for the unedited release. No, that's your fault. Period. Your fault. It's like, then you pushed it for an unedited release. Like, don't edit it and like make it sound like something that's not. Blah, blah. Your fault. Nah, your fault. So it's like, I think Ed said to someone else, like, are you one of those people that think the JLO's calls are not a dox? I am one of those people. It is not a dox. In fact, I would argue those people on that side that called for the unedited release, I would argue they were the doxers, because they were the ones that gave the green light, knowing that all those conversations happened, because those would be the people that would know what's in it. So why would you call for the unedited release? Ed still is alive. Up so many hours, still up with my number. Yeah, I mean, and they docs too. So, and here's the thing: if there was a point to be made against, like, there were times when, you know, it's kind of just like getting to know Nunya, and there would be like a point or an objection made, you know, I guess against Nunya. I would look into it objectively and fairly every single time, whether it's true or not. Like, I remember, you know, when Jeff said, like, is it okay that Nunya docs my church where all the kids go and everything like that? And I'd be like, oh, wait, that does sound kind of fucked up. It's like, every time I've looked into it, it never met its merit. There was something majorly wrong with it. Then you find out, like, that church doesn't even exist, and that picture even came from Jeff, and this and that. And it's like, there's always something wrong with the story. There's always something wrong with the objection. So, like, and based on that pattern that I've been seeing, where every time that's the case, it leads me to think that that side has a problem with credibility. So I 100% believe that the JLO's call tapes is not a dox. Because, like, it would be one thing if, let's say, like, I got in jail for some reason, and not only do I know that, like, it says call is being recorded, I would think if, like, let's say I get swatted Like, let's say like some asshole, like they finally got me swatted or something, and someone came, like police with body cameras came to my thing. I would expect that to be on the internet from that side, because I'm not an idiot. I'd be like, well, shit, that's going out. You know, and that's like one thing, but it's like a jail host call is voluntary. So I'd be like, all right, we can talk. We can't talk about anything that could be used against us in any kind of way, because obviously it'd be released. It's telling you it's being recorded. It's public information. And then it's like, after all that, you're gonna up the ante and be like, and push, be like, we'll just release it, but release the unedited version. Your fault. That's your fault. If you call for that, you gave the green light. So yeah, that's not being like a Nunionite or anything. That's just not being an idiot. And that's just not being, I don't know, like dishonest or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. Like, what kind of set of expectations is that? It's like, after all that, and then you still call for the unedited release, and you wonder why the unedited release got released. Yeah. So yeah, no sympathy or whatever. I really don't. Like, you should have known very well that would have been released. And then beyond that, it's like it was called for it to be released. And then you're mad when it finally gets released because someone figures out how to do it through probably an easy FOIA, a very easy FOIA. So that was a point. If I was going to make a point on when I was calling it on Mitch, but I was just like, after literally 20 seconds of me talking, it robots, so I can't talk. But yeah, I will be willing to debate anyone on that topic, and I'll be condescending as fuck about it, because it's kind of just like very black and white, and it's dishonest to call that a dox. Like, beyond that, it's dishonest to call that a dox. But that was my point. Yeah, it was. I gotta upgrade my phone, I guess. I mean, it's a good phone, but there has to be something wrong with it. I don't know. It's the only phone. Like, everything else works fine. I mean, I can use everything else, but it's just StreamYard for some reason. Well, it's not just StreamYard. It's just that technology in general. Like, any kind of streaming, anything, like, something goes wrong. I don't know why. But these at about 50%. Yeah, we'll be live. We'll be chilling. But yeah. Yeah, and also there's kind of like another thing which is kind of dishonest going on, is saying, like, comparing like the Ed situation or whatever, the Ed CP case, and saying like, well, you're not questioning Tommy about the child abuse case. No, no, because the link right now is pinned. It's always pinned. I have no history of banning anyone. The difference between those two things is, if you mention Edward Stairs as a CP suspect on that side, they ban you. You can't discuss it. One, you can't discuss it, let alone, they argue with it or whatever. One, I have no position on that. I would await the details for that tenfold. I have no position on that. Someone can make points either way. Someone can click a link. So again, that's just like the jailhouse calls is their fault from being released. There is nothing stopping them from clicking that pinned link and making their case. Nothing. So if like something is not discussed on this stream that you think should be discussed, that is your fault. 100%. 100%. So that like I've seen that point. That is a bullshit point. But yeah. That dream, bruh, me nuts. Because a bunch of us aren't even followers of him. That's why I dropped links so hard when Nanya did the fundraiser. I figured I'd just play the part. They call me. Yeah, and it's also I don't even watch Tommy at all. Like they'll be like, you're like having loyalty to Tommy. I don't even watch him. I don't even watch his chit chat. I don't watch it. I don't like I've never worked with them. Don't fucks with Tommy at all. So yeah, I mean, there's no plain size to anything. Yeah, and also what's true is, like it's my understanding that like either his stepbrother or something like Jason Fellows is and I'm saying the name here, right? And that was in chat, and I kind of had the back of my mind. I knew that person was a sex offender, and I saw that band, and I said, wait a minute, if that person's a sex offender, that's public information. That's not a dox. So I let it stand, which I would let any kind of free speech stand. But if it's like if that person is a sex offender, that's not a dox. So no, we principled up in here. Like they're not. If I'm talking to them, you're not. Complete difference. Apples and oranges. Yeah, but I don't know. That's kind of really it. Is like this grotesque level of dishonesty that I've been seeing, which is not surprising. I mean, like coming from what CP suspects, like whole pieces of shit. Not surprising that they're being dishonest, but it's like don't come to me with any of that shit without getting, checked. But yeah. And also it's like true is like they take banning, like don't tell me anything about censorship or whatever. Like they ban people. They'll kick people off panels. That doesn't happen here. I don't know what you mean by dream, bruh. Do you mean drove you nuts, or is that like voice to text? I'm not sure. Oh, your phone turned off. Is it charged, or I don't know. Oh. Dream be me nuts. I don't know what that means. Is that a Canadian phrase? I don't know. Okay, so it was another typo. Yeah, but just like a giant fuck you on that to the other side, I guess. No, like the other side, the Adviticans and all that. No comparison. No comparison. Like it's not even like it's not even debatable. It's not debatable. It's Canadian for I love syrup. Okay, I have a question. If I actually go to, like, let's say by chance I go to Montreal, is like the syrup like actually better? Is there like is it like is it overhyped or is it like is it taste more authentic or what's the deal with that? I don't know. 'Cause every time I hear about Canada, I hear about syrup. Like I don't know. You need a passport number one. I have a passport. I got one. I don't think I could fly to Canada though. I don't know. I don't know if that works. I suppose if I have a passport, I can. But and no, you can get good maple syrup on the east coast where you are. Oh, all right, so we in the right place. As long as you have a pass. What the fuck would a passport have to do with it if you're not even going to Canada? What do you mean? Does a passport make it taste better? Like, roadside syrup is so much better than store bought. Well, what does roadside syrup mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, you can fly to Montreal if you have a passport. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, I answered the. I took that as like an answer to the other question. Um, I do have a passport though, so I guess I can fly there. I'm like picturing even just like my little like if I fly like a little plane someday there, like that'll just get like intercepted by fighter jets. They'll be like, you can't go in there. You can't go to Canada. No, get get shot down. We want no MV cap. We don't want no MV cap up in here. No, like they won't even say anything. They'll shoot you. Be like, we got him. The end of MV cap. Oh my god, I need an internet break. I need an internet break. You can get into Canada without a passport. Roadside syrup is syrup sold on the side. What do you mean? I don't think you can get into Canada without a passport. You don't have enough money for fighter jets against America. I guess that's a good thing. The end, the end VCAP is me going to Canada. Is me flying to Canada. Because I heard a lot of horror stories when people are trying to go to Canada and they just get denied. They just get denied. They're just like, yeah, they just said no. We drove we drove 6 hours there and they just said no. Like, no, you can't go here. We don't want you. Are they supposed to be open to immigration and stuff like that? Are they supposed to be welcoming? Are they supposed to be? Are they supposed to be nice? Be like, you just drive all the way there and you're just like, no, go back. But storage and maintenance is expensive. I don't know the maintenance cost. I don't think it's crazy. Like for a plane, you mean? I don't know what you mean by storage, though. Storage is kind of just like, it's not much you can bring. I don't know. Depends on the depends on the kind of plane you get. Syrup is money, and so is time. Hey, Ryan, how'd your first flight go? I'm gonna have to rewind so much. Yeah, so I would just say, if I would describe it as anything, I would just say it was surreal. It's like when you actually are flying. It's hard to believe that you're flying. Like I actually said, like I'm flying. You know, it's like you. I guess you go the speed, which is about 70 knots, and then you pull the steering wheel back, and then you're just, I don't know, like going up somehow. It's and actually taxiing, when you see the planes, it's kind of like when you see the planes, when they're just like preparing for the runway. That is the hard part. That was a lot harder, because what you have to do is you're driving with your feet. You hit the left pedal to go left and the right pedal to go right. Yep. Ran intends to fly incognito into Canada. I get to ride in the cockpit with the pilots right before 9/11 happened. Landing in Chicago, it was so neat to see the view. Can't do that anymore. I think I remember when I was really like a kid. I was like really young. Where we get to, like, right when you're leaving. I think we were going to Disney World. We get to see the pilot, like, in the cockpit and everything, and ask questions. Yeah, asked a lot of questions. There's a lot of gathering of information. You could just sneak right into the plane in an unchecked suitcase or a handbag. Yeah, it won't be comfortable though. Might need air. Yeah. I'm a Canadian carry-on. Ryan, Ed is a CP suspect with an open investigation. Yep. Yeah, and here's something that was really fucked up. I found is like, I think he said something like, just like, I mean, it doesn't have to do with like, it's whatever, but like the dishwasher thing, like that's just how, like, one of the ways of making money now. Um, but like, even if I was like a millionaire or some shit, whatever was going on, I would even like, I would never think to be like, I'm not even gonna respond to this person because they're in a certain occupation. I'm not even gonna talk to this person because they're in an occupation. Like, you would have to be like, that's like really pompous to even say, like, even if you're well off. But it's like, you got no job and you're saying that? You got no job? Like, want to know what's worse than making 60 an hour? 0 an hour. Get fucked. I bet you're one of those kids that ask questions about everything. I was. I kind of still am in a way. That part of me never died. Okay. Can you DM it to me on Instagram? Let me see if I can do this. Can I log in Instagram here? Okay, it's giving me hard time. Trying to log in Instagram on my computer. Oh, I got it. Yeah, send it to my Insta. Send it to my Instagram. I'll share it. Oh, we got it. Get the requests. What's that about? Hold on, let me figure this out. I'm going to bring it over to this tab. Okay, I'm going to put it there. Yeah, we have like permission to play this and everything, right? I'll presume I do. So we're gonna play Kubay's beat. Get up. Yeah, so that's the MV cap in the year 2080, pretty much. Damn, the view. I don't know, is something going on? The view count just like took a dive. I don't know. Got a Bupak music video coming next. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't really, yeah, definitely. I don't know, not really too much to discuss. Been live for about an hour and 21 minutes. Yeah, I actually got like really tired. All of a sudden, I kind of woke up early. I think I'll probably end it soon, kind of now. Um, yeah, but thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to kind of share my experience about what it was like to fly for the first time, and yeah,